Upon completion of this course, you should be able to create queries with the Query Designer, create even more complex queries via something called a smart query, update the data in an Essbase database using the adjust, submit, and calculate commands, create smart slices, and create multi-view reports from those smart slices with the Report Designer. All right, let's go through all of the things we talked about in those previous slides here. The first thing I want you to know is whenever you open up the Smart View panel, and notice that I've docked it over here on the left-hand side, it's got a number of possibilities, and you're probably used to seeing things like shared connections and private connections. But I want you to notice a couple of things that we're going to talk about now and later. Now, what happens is it looks like there's a new panel, but you're really in the same old panel that you were before, the Smart View panel, just a different sub-panel. I can go back to Shared Connections here, or I can go back to Smart Query here. But the big difference is what has happened up here. Where there was an Essbase ribbon, or might have been an Essbase ribbon, now it's a Smart Query ribbon. And the top-bottom filter, the dialog looks pretty easy. Select the top or bottom number of, well, notice number of only applies if you select the count. So here I'm selecting the top 3 from my product dimension, as you'll see in the example coming up, based upon the values that I see in the east. And I'll press the Analyze button, and I'll get rid of the Smart View panel here. Scroll down and notice that I'm on sheet 6 here. 4 and 5 I had already used and deleted. And so now I'm in not a query anymore, but here you see the Essbase ribbon, where I can zoom out. And the first thing to understand about a smart slice is that you're creating what is called a limited perspective of a database, meaning once you create the smart slice, the user will only be able to see the members that you've selected for the rows, columns, and POV, not the members outside of it. Let's see how you create a report from a smart slice. Now in this case, I already have a regular Smart View ad hoc analysis on display from Sample Basic. This is not a smart slice or anything like that. But I've got my Smart View panel on display here. And when I right-click on the Smart Slice, you can see I can do many things, including insert Smart Slice into a report. Now notice it tells us right away that we need to refresh. But notice when I select any one of these cells, each one of these cells, select that one, doesn't matter, is an HSGetValue function, which says go to this database, and at row 2, column 2, go to this intersection of Massachusetts, Diet Cola, etc., and more information. And then it changes the look of my table, but not only the look of it, but now I can move it around wherever I want to, and I can, of course, grab a corner and do whatever I want there and resize it. And then once I'm done, don't forget to uncheck the design mode, and there's my table. And as I told you, it will provide you with scroll bars if necessary. And I'll insert the slider. And it says, well, you know what? You've got 3 POV dimensions. Which POV dimension do you want to appear? I'll select the one with the most members, the year. And this time it's not what do you initially want to appear in the POV. It's which members do you want to be able to select from this POV control. So I'll select all 4 quarters, click on OK, and there's my slider. And notice it says